Welcome to a morning Qigong set that you can do anywhere at any time. Let's jump up if we're seated, and wherever you are, we can follow along and do this exercise. Let's begin with our feet hips width distance apart. And we're going to go through this basic foundational stance that we're going to hold and we're going to call empty stance. We want to place our feet hips width distance apart and then check our feet. Let's look down at our feet and see if they're rooted into the ground. I like to think each foot has 4 corners or 4 pillars, and that each pillar needs to be evenly distributing weight. So once our feet are set, we can then work our way up, bending the knees slightly so the knees are not locked. Checking the pelvis, seeing if the pelvis has a tilt forward or back. We want it to be pretty neutral, and this neutral pelvis creates a nice seat, a nice bowl for our spine to lengthen out of. And we lengthen our spine up through the crown of our head. So as we lengthen through the crown of our head, we slightly tuck our chin and then relax our shoulders away from our ears. Now this empty posture is the root of our sequence. It's the root of Qigong. So we can always check back and return to this posture for a guideline, as a guideline to how our body should be holding itself in this space. And what often happens is we're not utilizing our standing postures correctly, and our body begins to compensate by resting on joints or by resting on primary muscles that it can overutilize. What we want to do is to reprogram the body. We want to rewire the way it functions and the way it holds itself and the way it can perform at length through breathing and relaxation. So let's start. Let's begin this sequence. We're going to inhale. To begin the first exercise, we'll take our hands up, just as we're doing here, all the way overhead. And we're going to keep inhaling as much as we can, even reaching high. And then we'll reverse. We'll exhale now, exhaling our hands all the way down. This is the first exercise. We're going to do it 8 times. Returning down to our hands near the hips. Inhale again, reaching high. Continue your inhale, lengthen that inhale. Reaching your arms up above you. The palms flip, so the palms face up. And then as you exhale your hands down, the palms flip again. Exhaling our hands all the way down to our sides. Inhaling the 3rd time. Inhale, reaching high. Letting the arms lengthen. Reaching the palms high. Inhale, lengthening that inhale. Exhaling our hands all the way back down to our hips. Check your feet. Check your knees. Check your pelvis and your spine. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Pressing the palms out towards the heavens. Still inhaling until you release, exhaling all the way back down. Checking the shoulders, seeing if they can relax away from the ears. Keeping a bend in the arms here. Inhaling, reaching high. If you want to take this exercise up a level, you can press high into the balls of your feet, like I'm doing here. But you don't have to do that. You can just stay standing evenly. Inhaling, reaching high. Exhaling our hands all the way back down, checking our feet, checking our knees, our hips, our spine. Is our spine lengthened? Is our pelvis neutral? Inhale, reaching high. Exhaling our hands all the way back down. And really focusing on the breath here. Focus on lengthening this inhale. See if you can inhale all the way through the top of this movement. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Keep inhaling if you need to, if you have the space, until you're ready exhaling all the air out. See if you can exhale all the stale air out. That was our 8th exercise. So that was the first exercise. We did 8. Now the second exercise is shooting the bow, or bow and arrow. I like to take my feet a little further apart. I like to take double hips width distance, but you can stay with your feet hips width distance here, and it's exactly the same. So again, I'm taking a wider stance, but you can keep your feet hips width distance and just bend into the knees slightly. We're gonna bring both of our arms in and then start with this posture right here. You can bend into the knees a little bit, as much as you like. One arm's extended, it sweeps across, and the other arm pushes out. This is drawing the bow. This is exercise number 2. We're going to do 8 of these as well, so 4 on each side. So we inhale across, that hand becomes a fist. We exhale, we push one arm straight, and the other arm pulls back like we're drawing a bow to release. We inhale, that arm that's open comes across until we pull it back into a fist, and the other arm goes straight. So you can see this pattern, it goes back and forth. There's the inhale here and the exhale here. I want to look towards that hand that's extended, and then inhale across, exhale, look to the other hand that's extended. Now I'm doing another variation here where I'm pressing my legs straight. As I said in the beginning, you can keep your legs hips width distance here, and you just bend slightly into the knees, and you just turn side to side just like we were in the beginning. If you're taking a more advanced variation of these, you can take your feet double hips width distance, and you can press side to side, straightening the opposite leg like I'm doing here. This is not necessarily as important as the breathing part of the exercise. So if you're still standing with your feet hips width distance apart, just keep bending into the knees slightly and keep moving side to side until you're done, and then we'll return back to our empty stance. So that was exercise number 2, drawing the bow. This is exercise number 3. We start from our hands together. We inhale, reach one arm high, the other hand reaches low. We inhale as we come through, and then we exhale, press the palms apart. Inhale, both of our arms come together towards our chest, and then exhale, one arm's high and the other arm's down by our hips. Inhale through center, exhale, pressing one arm high and pressing the other arm down by our hips. If we feel comfortable with this, we can start twisting slightly. So we inhale through the center movement as our arms cross, and then we exhale, one arm's high, and the hand that's low, we twist that direction, waking up the spine. Inhale back through center, exhale, the one arm's high, the opposite arm's low, and you twist that direction. Again, we're only doing this 8 times. Inhale through center, exhale, right arm high, left arm low, twist to the left. Inhale through center, the left arm goes high, the right arm goes low, and you look to the right. Inhaling back through center, exhaling to twist. Doing our last one, we've done 8, we return to our empty stance. That was the 3rd exercise. This one is called Cow Gazes Back at Moon. We start from this empty stance posture, and we push our hands out like I'm doing. We can hold our hands right here so the palms are facing towards us. We want to check our stance, check our feet, check our knees, check our hips, check our spine. Inhale in place, and then exhale, we twist actively, and as we twist, our palms turn out. We inhale back to the center. That was 1. We exhale to the other side as the palms turn out. Cow gazes to look at the moon. That's 2. Inhale into center, lengthen the breath. Inhale, inhale, exhale, twist to the right. So we're exhaling and twisting the spine and the lungs. We're kind of wringing out these internal organs. Inhale in center, exhale, twist to the left. You can feel this exhale, the twisting, the limitation in your lung capacity, the limitation in your muscle structure. Inhaling into center, checking your posture. Inhaling back into center and exhaling to the right. Inhaling back into center and exhaling to the left. Checking your stance, checking your feet and your knees and your hips. You only need to twist as far as it feels comfortable. Inhaling in center, and then exhale and twist as far as it feels comfortable. Inhale, fill your lungs, fill your belly. Exhale, twist just as much as it feels comfortable to. Inhale back into center and release. That's the end of exercise number 4. Number 5, you just take your hands into fists. One arm reaches really high as the other arm comes down by your side. That was a little exaggerated, but it's just a side stretch. We inhale in place and then exhale, side stretch. So you inhale here, exhale, side stretch. You can take your opposite foot up to the ball if you like. I'm going pretty far, and you don't really need to go that far. Inhale in the center, exhale, side stretch. And the opposite foot can lift slightly if you like, and you can look under that armpit. And this is a pretty short one, so you're going to be done pretty fast. You just inhale in center, exhale, side stretch. Inhale into center, and exhale, side stretch. So this is pretty simple. It actually feels really good. Take a little break from those harder exercises if those were hard. Again, we're only going to do 8 of these. So we inhale into center and exhale, side stretch until we have done our last one. And the side stretch can be taken to as far as you want, however far you want to stretch. Just thinking about reaching that one arm high and the other arm comes to your waist. Most of your weight's on the leg that you're leaning over. Inhaling back into our empty stance. Beginning exercise number 6. To begin, inhale as we sink down, bending our knees, our arms fall past our ankles. Exhale to stand, our shoulders open, our arms come over. Inhale again, bending our knees, our hands trace down past our heels. Exhale to stand, our shoulders open, our arms come over. Inhale, bending into the knees, sitting the hips down and back like you're sitting in a chair. Exhale, coming up to stand, arms come over. Inhale, sinking low, sitting into the heels like you're sitting down into a chair, listening to your knees safely. Exhaling to stand. Inhale, bending your knees, sinking down into your chair, imaginary chair. Exhale, coming to stand. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale, up to stand again. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale, up to stand again. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale, up to stand again. And only one more. Inhale, bending the knees, sitting down into our imaginary chair, and exhaling our arms out and over, opening the shoulders, coming back to our resting empty stance. Coming back to our empty posture, coming back to our empty stance. We take our thumb and we press it inside of our fist. We bring both of our fists to our side. We inhale in place, and then we exhale. We just push our fist out. It's not a punch as much as a slow push with the thumb inside the palm. This is 2. Inhale as you're coming back. Exhale, push your fist out. Inhale as you're coming back. Exhale as you push your fist out. Taking your breath with your movements here, elongating your breath, elongating your inhale and your exhale. The movement of the fist and the thumb inside the fist is actually a pressure point, an acupressure point. So we're breathing here, pushing our fists out. Inhale in center, exhale out. Inhale through center, exhale out. After we've done 8 of these, we can take our hands and release our thumb fist. Take our hands, we take our wrists behind our back by our kidneys, and we pulse, we bounce like this. We actually just bounce like this for 8 breaths. It's pretty easy. This is actually the 8th exercise of Duan Jin. I'm actually shaking pretty violently, But this bouncing, this shaking is actually really good for your body. It's really good for your internal organs. It's really good to release any tension and to revitalize those internal organs. So we do a little shake about, and that's the 8th exercise. You just completed all 8 exercises of Duan Jin if you did it along with me. And this is a traditional set that you find all across China. You find senior people doing it in the park usually, and it's not limited just to seniors. People of all ages can benefit from doing this exercise. It's one of my favorite exercises to do. I suggest you do it early in the morning, right when you get up, but you can do it any time of day, and you can modify it to fit any time period you have, any amount of time you have to practice. To do the whole set takes about 10 to 15 minutes. There are 8 exercises, and each exercise you do 8 times, adding up to 64 breaths. Most of the time we're breathing without mindfully exhaling all the stale air and then mindfully inhaling slowly. So this shallow breathing that we subconsciously fall into has a lower oxygen exchange rate than abdominal breathing, than mindful abdominal breathing, which is what we're going to aim to do. The mindful abdominal breathing is easily accessible as long as you're consciously exhaling all the air out and then creating that space after you exhale all the stale air to pull fresh air into your lungs. So the few breaths we take before and after are just to warm up, and then the goal is to make it through all 64 breaths with full body inhales and full body exhales.